and a warm welcome at CavOK Racing Network. Thank you all for tuning in at this Sunday night Skippy night at Snetterton. My name is Pimlet, and of course I'm not doing it by myself. I have my co-commentator Peter Lee. Peter, how are you doing on this Halloween scary night?
Trick or treat, Pim. I don't know what we're in for tonight. There's been a lot of chatter I'm sure we'll get into. This could be just a super exciting race, or it could be a real mess. But either way, I think it'll fit in with Halloween.
Yeah, it will fit in perfectly in Halloween. It will be a scary race. It looks a little bit like an oval. I haven't driven this track myself. I did some other layouts. What can you tell us about this layout?
Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of pub practice sessions, and it is a lot like an oval. There's these two long straights, the front straight, the center straight, and then the back straight called the Bentley straight. They're wide, they're flat, they're full of draft, and then you got these little tiny technical sections on both ends. I think it's going to be hard for leaders to shake off people who are drafting behind them, and that is going to invite a lot of 2 wide and maybe even 3 wide situations at the end of these straights.
All right, cool. That's going to be a lot of fun. Normally in these races, because it's Halloween, of course, a lot of people have different appointments. How is it about the racers? How many races do we have on track?
Yeah, well, I think we have 8 racers on track. I think the joke on the Discord is that the racers that don't have little kids are on track, it's a smaller field than we're used to. But frankly, on a track like this, that might be exactly what we want, because in the pub practice sessions that I was doing this week, it was messy. These weren't even real races; they were just practices. But boy, there were dive bombs, very dangerous 2 wide and 3 wide situations galore.
Yeah, and on the moment we do see that we're in qualification, and we see Rusty Pottenberg in the front. It's a bit surprising. Normally Scott Allen is tough on the lead, but I do see that Rusty is really had some speed this week. Could be interesting.
Yeah, he's in the low 121s, along with Scott Allen. Those are really fast times. Chris Daniel is there with the 3rd fastest time right now at mid 121. It's those are really, really good times. They'll hold up well even in SF1, and we will probably in the Skippy Formula 1 race see people in the 119s, but for cold tire qualification laps, these are really good times.
Yeah, I do hope that we're gonna see the end of this race, because I do see in the qualification is still not finished. If people worried about that, we are gonna switch over to Formula 1 at 9 o'clock, so don't worry about missing that start. But it's gonna be tight, I think. I'm seeing the times already. Quick look. How many minutes do we have before the race actually starts?
Right, I think just about a minute left in qualifying, and then of course there will be the steward's briefing to the drivers, which usually only takes a couple minutes, and so maybe about 3 more minutes before race start.
I'm not sure if we're gonna make that, but let's have a quick look. I'm gonna have a look if we can see the results. Because we had some troubles getting the nice standings from Joe. Normally Joe is really good in that, but there was some delay on that one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a look. Yeah, I can get at least the championship scoring points up, and we see that Alex Alton is still in the lead, and after him is Dave Pickram. Now I don't think he's going to be in there anymore. So then we have Chris Daniel on the 2nd position, and Ian Worrell. I haven't seen Ian Worrell yet. Do you know anything about if he's coming tonight?
Yeah, in fact, he did report in the Discord that he will miss the Skippy Formula 2 race, and that has really significant season standing implications.
Yeah.
I mean, there are drop weeks, and so it might be okay, but Ian is definitely a championship contender, and so Halloween duties, I think, have taken him away from tonight's race.
Yeah, that is possible. But that will make it a lot interesting. I did see that we saw Jake Ashe back. Missed him last week. But good to see that he's back in this championship.
Oh, and he's looking fast. In fact, right now in the qualifying session, he has the third fastest time at 1:21.4.
Quick look if I can. I see that the qualification has ended. So that's good news for our race. Let's see if we can come back to the results. Last people are finishing up their race. I see that the sun is going down a little bit. Would mean that the track also would be a little bit cooler. Have a quick look how the weather is right now. 66 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, in fact, all week here, the track has been nice and cool. Typically in the mid to upper 60s. In a way, it for a long time for me, it made me slower because I was just throwing the car around. And in the technical sections of this track, in fact, Max DiGiacomo from Skippy Formula One was helping me a little bit this morning. This is a track where it's very easy to overdrive the car through the technical sections, and it took the better part of the week to learn that that's actually slower at this track.
Yeah, that's. I do have to say, I'm driving the GT3 on the moment, and in that we also have that same part. The race results are in, so let's have a quick look. Do see Scott Allen has taken that first position from Rusty Pottenberg on the second spot with was 1.0 seconds behind him, very close. Third is Jake Ashe, Chris Daniel, number 4. I do want to point out Melody Change, last time first time up here, and is now on the 8th position. I'm curious what we see from her. Of course, Joe Zubo and Dan Pagowski are also in here. And then we see Kurt Smith, also a new name, or a relatively new name. It's going to be, I think, his second race over here, so excited for that. I do think that they're starting up, or not?
Yeah, it looks like they're gridding up. It looks like everyone is on the grid. And, we should get the race start just as soon as the driver briefing is over. And, as they get off to a start, they go right into this really high-speed fourth gear right-hand sweeper. And on cold tires, it'll be very interesting to see if all these drivers can stay out of trouble. Our first scary Halloween treat there.
Yeah, let's not do a broadcast boot because, of course, we are not Chris. I do hope that maybe he comes up as a mystery guest, but for now, we will have to look. I think they're all lined up. I do see some engines already revving, so
yeah,
it's good to see. We have some people already having some favorites. Kurt Smith is a big fan.
Fans.
Yeah, that's all. I always like that that we do have that.
Yeah.
Kurt is currently on that 7th position.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the start, they'll be up to fourth gear for this turn 1 sweeper. They'll all be on cold tires, and then a huge concertina when they all shift all the way down to first.
All right,
gear.
And the lights are going off, and here we go. This is our first start here in Snetterton on this Sunday. It seems that everything goes quite fine. They're gonna take this along over here.
Looks like they're getting into single file for this turn 1 sweeper, and now we should see a little concertina as they all brake hard and shift.
Yeah, and is Rusty already going there for the inside? Is he going to take there? He's not going to have a look over there. Oh, and we do see Joe Zubo crashed over there.
Yeah, boy, and that great Halloween livery that he brought to the track tonight. But looks like he's not damaged, so I think he'll be okay.
Now we do see now Jake Ashe over there on the side. I'm curious if he's going to make a move up here. Jake is not making a move, came back
No.
over there.
But you did see for a minute, you know, they were too wide, and then you know, just thought better of it on cold tires and fell back in line.
Yeah, I do think that that's a wise decision, and we do see a big mistake. He's no! Both of them went off. I don't think they actually hit each other, but Jake nearly hits it over there. Oh, and that has big consequences also for Joe.
Yes, Josu, Jake Ashe. But it's looking like they are not damaged, and they're continuing.
They're not damaged, but this will have consequences. Look at this. Immediately we do see that Scott Allen and Rusty Pottenberg are really running away.
Yes. I'm noticing back Kurt Smith and Melody Chance are really battling. And in fact, they went too wide through the turn 2 hairpin.
Oh, look at this. And Melody is making that move over here. Has that long straight.
Yeah. And now here's where it gets scary, because this turn 4 they're coming in is really dangerous. And just going through too wide there. Looks like Melody made the pass in time. But, you know, that's going to be a very, very high-risk corner when you're racing hard like that.
Well, it's good to see that Kurt also takes that a little bit easy, because we do have a long race. There are 2 more pit stops to go, and it's not the time to actually fight. And it's funny that I say that, Peter, but yeah, I do see that up here, that Melody is making that move, but Kurt is right behind there. Curious to see, is he going to make that move now?
Yeah, boy, and you know, Kurt and Melody are just giving us a clinic on what this track is about. These 2 long straights with drafting.
Yeah, and then right behind there you also see that Jake Ashe is actually doing the same thing.
Yep. And then bookended by these really dangerous high-speed.
Oh, and Melody nearly lost it over there, and that's why Kurt is still there in the back.
Yep.
Oh, and there Melody goes. Hopefully she didn't hit that much, but and now Jake has that issue.
Looked like Jake just got spooked by the slow car there right at the apex of the hairpin.
Yeah, he didn't expect that part, and wow, a lot of things to look forward to. We do see that Scott Allen.
Are you seeing enough action there, Tim?
Yeah. I'm just going quickly over to Scott Allen and Rusty Pottenberg. They're taking it very, very easy over here.
And you know, we've seen this with the 2 of them. They're both very patient drivers. You know, they're willing to be strategic and stay in the draft for a while. You know, it's looking like they're happy to do that and just run away from the rest of the field.
And that's what you see right now. You see here in the back Melody change Chris Daniel and Joe Zubo, and Chris Daniel is really going forward up now. Is there really looking on where can he pass the best way, and here's he gonna go.
Yeah, and very cleanly done, although it looked like Chris maybe overcooked it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think he is a little bit too much over there. And Melody does come back. Look at this. Takes that inside, and I've seen her practice doing this. He knows that if you take that inside line, you're basically there. Yeah. Oh, but Chris Daniel just takes it over. Look at this.
You know, Melody's driving style is, this is your kind of driver, Pim. Don't you think? Just,
yeah. Oh.
Ends, you know, really races hard.
Look at this, Chris Daniel.
Who would think with only 8 cars on the track that there would be this much action already? You know, meanwhile, you know, Dan Pagowski is just all by himself in 3rd place, just running solid race. Just turned a 122.9 lap. He's staying within himself. We'll have to see if he starts to make up the gap to Scott Allen and Rusty Pottenberg.
Yeah, and you also have to think, of course, we have Jake Ashe. He's going to have to pit very soon, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And yeah, Jake might want to do that. Just partly when you think about these draft tracks, sometimes you want to pit. I think if you're off all by yourself without a draft partner, you might want to pit just to see if you can kind of reshuffle things a little bit.
Yeah, and we do see that Melody changed on the moment as Joe Zubo right behind there. So curious what Joe Zubo is going to do. I don't think he's going to attack right here.
Yeah.
But he is getting really close on the moment. And while I'll say that, I also think we need to go back to the front because Rusty Pottenberg is getting really close right now. Is he going to make a move? He can make a move up here.
Yeah.
It is possible.
Yeah, this is the front straight called the SNS straight. And, like we were saying, this is a little bit like a flat Watkins Glen, this track. And if you don't do it at the front straight, no problem. Just wait till after this hairpin, get a good exit, and do it on the back straight, the Bentley straight.
Oh, and while we're talking about it, Jake Ashe has entered the pits on the moment, as we said. So he's going to be out up there.
Okay, and I'm looking back up front, and it does look like Rusty's getting a really good toe behind Scott.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it right now, up here. He takes that inside really good. Look at that. Awesome work over here.
Beautifully done.
But Scott hasn't lost anything. He's still right behind there.
Right.
Right behind them is 7 seconds Dan Pagowski, and after that is Kurt Smith. Look at that, Kurt. Up 3 spots.
Yeah, Kurt's another one like Dan that's just winning some really good strong laps. And then Chris Daniels, making up some ground.
Yeah, Chris Daniel is right behind there, and he does seem to be a little bit faster. While we do see that Kurt makes a small mistake, and then immediately Chris Daniel is coming over here. Curious to see if Chris Daniel is now going to take this spot up here.
Well, again, we should see Chris getting a really good toe from Kurt. Yeah.
He is going to do that right over here. Look at this. He's taking that outside line and then drives to get it inside, so get to grab it over here and does that really nice, awesome move.
That was really really well done also.
Yeah, that's how you do these kind of things.
There now, it doesn't look like Chris got the best of exits from that turn 3, and so this gives. Well, it looks like Chris will be able to hold on.
All right, so how is Jake Ashe doing? How is his times? You're a more technical guy in that.
Jake is running really well right now. He, of course, had his pit stop, but prior to entering the pit, he turned in a 1:22.1, and so one of the faster times on the track. And so the thing that'll be interesting to see is if coming out of the pits, the way he did, is going to give him a chance to catch draft. And in fact, it looks like it's actually made it worse. He's really on the complete other side of the track from all the other drivers.
Yeah, well, because we're now driving along with Rusty Pottenberg and Scott Allen, and I do see that Rusty is doing what we already saw in the practice. He is just very strong in his times, and I think Scott Allen has difficulties to actually even keep the draft over here.
Yeah, I think you're right, Pim. They qualified so close to each other, but it is looking like Rusty is just eking out a little bigger and bigger gap. Maybe it closes up at the end of these straights, but
you do see. No, I do see Scott Allen is pushing himself over there. He did a small little mistake, and again he's missing some time. And this is the chance for Rusty. If Rusty wants to win this, now is the time to press.
Yeah.
Make now that quick lap that you have, and here you go, Scott Allen out of the draft. It's all about a good exit right now for him. They both make a nice
out of the
exit.
DRS. Scott's lost the DRS.
All right. Well, then it's going to be difficult up here.
Yeah, very difficult.
Awesome move from Rusty, and now it's to stay in there. Also, maybe a good time to start thinking about pit stops. You're there on that, you don't have to draft anymore, but we do see that Scott Allen is working his way back up there. So it's not done yet.
Well, these short little technical sections right here, the turn 2 hairpin and then turn 3, that turn 3 exit is just so important. And, you know, it's so easy to scrub a little bit too much speed. It just takes a lot of patience. It looks like Scott is getting a benefit of toe here from Rusty.
Yeah, he is getting a lot closer, but he can't make this move. But it's nice to stay over there. And you do see that Dan Pagowski is not able to come any closer. So I do think that this team, that Rusty Pottenberg and Scott Allen, could be a winning factor over here.
Yep. You know, Pim, watching this, it's great to see Rusty you know, in the lead like this. One of the discussions this week on the league Discord, in fact, it's still going on, being led by the administrator for Skippy Formula 2, Ian Worrell, is, you know, what is a Skippy Formula 2 racer? You know, at what point is a Skippy Formula 2 racer too fast and, you know, too dominant to be allowed to race anymore in Skippy Formula 2? And it's been a big discussion, and it's a discussion that's affected you and me because we used to drive in Skippy Formula 2.
Yeah, and I know that I was very against the rule of having the winner out, because that was you. And we had a lot of fun over there. I just like it that, but we're still having a lot of fights going on. I think that is the important thing of the Formula 2. It came here to make sure that the people in the back of Formula 1 also had a really good time and some proper racing going on. And I think that's happening right now. And look at this, he is making a move. Scott Allen has waited long enough, and he's now making that move. Yep. And Rusty Pottenberg has nothing on that.
It does look like the straight, the back straight, the so-called Bentley straight, seems to work a little better for that move than the front straight, the Senna straight. And you know, they're both about the same length. The Bentley straight feels wider, and you know, you have to brake harder at the end of the straight. So I think that's probably why it seems to work better. Oh, it looks like Rusty's diving into the pits for his first refueling stop.
All right, yeah, I was actually thinking that Scott Allen would do that, but he's not going to take that risk. And we do see in the back over there also Dan Pagowski, Chris Daniel. It is pits time. We do see now a lot of people coming here in the pit.
Kurt Smith is in the pits.
Joe Zubo. Now, what is Melody going to do? Is Melody going to go into the pit? Of course Melody is going to be in the pit. So it's really only Scott Allen who is not yet in the pit. I am curious what Jake now has to win up here.
Yeah, Jake might now be able to catch up into some draft. So let's let's cross our fingers for him. So, Tim, what do you think about Rusty's decision to pit there? Because he was in Scott Allen's draft. Do you think it was a good decision?
I think it was a good decision because he's quicker than Scott Allen. So he needs to get rid of him. He needs to make sure that Scott Allen is not having any draft on him. And on the moment, we do see that Jake has moved up to 5th position. I'm not sure if he won much with that undercut, but it is the style of Jake to drive this way and to be in his own track, not having many people to drive with.
Looks like Chris Daniel is trying to make a move on Dan Pagowski on the back straight. They're coming in too wide, coming into turn 4. And
nice move.
Yeah, nice move by Chris Daniel. And safely done by both drivers. So Scott Allen is in the pits.
Yeah, Scott Allen in the pit. That's going to be interesting. And now we can really see what Rusty Pottenberg has won or lost with this undercut.
Yeah.
But on the moment, I do have to say I like this race for the number 3 position with Chris Daniel and Dan Pagowski. But we do see that Rusty Pottenberg has taken the lead.
Yeah, and looks like you're right, Pim. That undercut just really it gave Rusty a 3-second advantage. That's incredible.
Yeah, this is very important, and we all know how important it is to make sure that you do the right things at the pit stop. And it looks like Rusty has enough experience to do this. And he's back on that long straight. And look at this, he's just running away now from Scott Allen. Scott Allen can't really get up to there. And then we see Dan Pegowski with Chris Daniel for that third position. Is Dan Pegowski immediately coming back? Is he going to take that one over there?
Yeah, look at that toe that he's getting, but not quite close enough to get on the inside there coming into turn 4.
No, but it will be interesting on the next long straight, because that is a little bit with this track. Just wait for the next one. We do see Jake Ashe also there in the back. 5 seconds to gain on Dan Pegowski. It's quite a bit.
Yep.
We're halfway, or not even halfway through the race, so still anything can gain on that. Oh, Dan Pegowski makes a mistake over here. That's going to cost him, because now Chris Daniel is just running away.
Yeah.
He had a really good exit.
Boy, that final turn, that turn 8, is another place that just will punish any over-eagerness to get on the throttle. You want to get back on the full throttle so early, that you just have to have all sorts of patience. And so that's given Chris Daniel now over a 2.5 second lead over Dan Pegowski.
Yeah, I do have to say that now there are a little bit of big gaps in between. We see Rusty Pottenberg is just running away. He's not even trying to protect his position. He's just running away over there from Scott Allen. Scott Allen is then again 6 seconds from Chris Daniel. And then 3 seconds over there is Dan Pegowski, and 4 seconds for Jake Ashe. So Jake has won a second over there. And then we have Kurt Smith on the 6th position. Also a little bit alone, but maybe that's good for him. He can get some time over there.
Absolutely. And really everyone is lapping well. It is interesting, don't you think, Pim, just how the pit strategies and the how people manage pit stops has just really separated these drivers all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, but that's I think it's a very typical case of new drivers. A lot of new drivers who haven't got the experience. I remember my first 2 pit stops. They were horrible, they were slow, and then I realized oh, this is how you have to do that. Currently we're looking at the car from Melody Change, nice livery. I know that she creates her own liveries, and she's willing to do that for anybody else. So if you want to have any liveries like that, then please have a chat with her on Discord.
Yeah, and you were telling me that you've become a fan of her Twitch stream.
It's a very fun stream, and I came in there with a big group of Daniel Gray, and it was she showed us a little bit what she can do. She's quite good in saving the car, has a lot of control in the car, and still needs to find a little speed, but I know that Perez is helping her from SF1. So in no time we will see her a little bit more up front, and she is gaining actually on Kurt Smith, so maybe that's still something to play for.
Yeah, well, and there will be another round of refueling stops, and so who knows what happens after that. But you're right. Right now, all of the drivers are pretty evenly spaced out on the track, and and so there's 3, 4, 5, 6 second gaps now between each of the drivers. Well, anyway, I think getting back to what is a Skippy Formula 2 driver, it does sound like Ian Worrell is opening up the space of possibilities about how Skippy Formula 2 is organized and how drivers are qualified for the series. The thing is that everyone who participates in Skippy Formula 2 just loves it. I mean, you and I just loved it. There's a real camaraderie, and you improve as a driver really rapidly in this series, and so I think people really care about this. People want to keep participating, and so the rules on who's allowed to participate, I think, are high stakes and something that everyone in the discussion cares about. Ian Worrell posted up a survey, and literally every active Skippy Formula 2 driver participated, which just shows you how much they care.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that is an important part to also take part of those discussions, because, you know, it's so difficult. And I had strong disagreements with Ian about, for instance, sending you away because you were the winner, our first winner of our SF1 or SF2 series. But yeah, it's difficult to make decisions, and it's good to have the information from everybody else. We are looking at Jake Ashe, who is basically blowing up his engine. I'm going to go to somewhere else to see it's a little bit more or less. But look at that great car from Rusty Pottenberg. It's now 4.3 seconds. He did lose a little bit on...
Did Scott Allen have an incident in turn 5?
Yeah, Scott Allen actually went off. It's good that you mentioned that. And while we're looking at him, let's have a quick look. He did... Oh! He goes all the other side wrong way.
Wow.
All the wrong way, and then comes back to that. Great how he makes that move back, and he didn't save, or he didn't got any passing on that one. And we do see that also Melody Change has passed Chris Daniel for 5th position.
Yes.
I'm curious what happened over there. Let's have a quick look at the replay. Do you know what happened?
No, it's very interesting, and there must have been some incident that Chris got involved in.
Well, that's nice for Melody, because he's currently on that 5th position. Look at this. Just new at the league and already running over there. And what is it about Dempegowski? Dempegowski is getting really close to Scott Allen on the moment.
Yes. Well, Dan is in Scott's draft, and so it will be interesting to see what happens as they enter the back straight.
Can we just have a regular conversation with them all moving around, making position changes? Man, they're going very quick up here.
Yeah.
Look at this. Daniel is really coming closer, and we know he's a daredevil in that one. He will try, but he's too far right now. But he's getting really close to Scott Allen. That needs to give confidence on how to do this proper now.
Absolutely.
Scott Allen made that mistake, but is all the way back. And this is, I always felt that this is really weird. You made that mistake, and now you need to get back into that rhythm. It's difficult, and he needs to do that quickly, because Daniel is really coming close right now. A little bit of a broad exit over there, and we do see that Dempegowski comes into the pit.
Interesting. And so now this is Daniel's undercut, and
yeah, let's see how well he will do that for Scott Allen.
Yeah, you know, and this is interesting because I think this is an actual intentional undercut attempt by Dan Pegowski, because as you and I know, he normally wants to run his gas tank completely dry before coming in for his refueling, but he's actually coming in early here.
Yeah, I do think the fight over there, and he is already coming out over here. Is he gonna fight with Melody, or is he just gonna keep that? No, Melody is way quicker. It takes a long time that pit lane.
Yeah.
Good to know that it will take that long, but Melody is far ahead of him, 2.4 seconds. I'm curious to see if Daniel can come back to Melody in a very fast fashion. And what about Rusty? Is Rusty gonna go for a pit stop? Looks like he's just gonna continue right now. Yeah. He has the speed, he knows what he needs to do. It's now just running empty and making sure 14 seconds. Look at this.
Boy, what a masterful drive he's on right now.
Yeah, I do have to say this is one of the... I'm pretty sure that he won a couple of more times. I know in the Formula 2 that he won, I think, at least 2 times. But this is one of his strongest victories. He is really running away. He was the fastest car. So, fair enough for him.
Yeah, it does look like Chris Daniel is going to be a DNF for this race. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate he had some issue. And I did not see if he had an incident or a wreck, or if he's just having some technical issue. Maybe too many trick-or-treaters at the door.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be it. So yeah, I told my wife no trick-or-treaters. We're done with the day. We have the trick-or-treaters here on the track. Or shall we say that we are the candy for the drivers?
So it does look like Dan Pegowski is trying to close the gap to Melody Chance. Melody, you know, is now up in P4. Great drive there, and but Dan Pegowski is slowly closing in and is now within 2 seconds of Melody.
Yeah, you can see her right over there. And that does help. If you know that you have a slower driver in front of you, you can focus on that. You can make sure that you every time see that you gain a little bit more. Oh, this corner, in the beginning it was so scary.
Yeah.
But it's very satisfactory when you get this right, and I do think that Daniel gets it right. Look at this, what a great exit over there.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, he's now in that draft, and now he immediately comes bare. And I do have to say, Melody is also not somebody who wants to defend that. If she knows that someone is coming over there, she's going to give that room. I've seen that many times doing her. She's very good in strategy. And she knows this race is still 7 more minutes long. So it's not done yet here. Oh, we did see that she made a small mistake over there.
Good.
But keeps it very safe.
Yeah, and so it does look like Daniel is a little too far back to make the pass attempt at the end of the straight here. And so it will require a few more rounds, and they're
well, I don't think it's going to be that much rounds. If you look at it, they're now so close, and oh, Scott Allen. Oh, Rusty Pottenberg just went to the pit.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like 50 seconds. That can't be. But Rusty has just went to the pit, so that's okay. And look at this. He's so quick out already that he can keep that second position in. And we do see Kurt Smith also going in. But I'm curious about Dan Pegowski. Is he going to make the move over here? This is really quick. And he doesn't have the chance. Melody is going into the pit. So that means that Dan can go in. I think that was a smart move of Melody. No fight with Dan and just going in.
And shake the draft a bit and see if you can benefit a little bit from a little bit of an undercut. And so we do have Scott Allen in the lead, but he still has yet to make a second refueling stop. And so of the drivers that have made 2 stops, we have Rusty Pottenberg, Dan Pegowski, and Kurt Smith running 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and this is really nice for Rusty Pottenberg because he's now just driving along to Scott Allen, 11 seconds. And he knows a pit stop, that's going to take you at least 30 seconds, if not more.
Yep.
I think something like that, so that's going to take you a long time away.
And so now we are seeing Scott Allen just has entered the pits for his second and presumably final refueling stop.
Oh, and we do see our zombies are getting a little bit more up.
And it will be interesting to see. Scott should be able to come out in second place, and so he's coming into the pit lane. And Dan Pegowski is zooming in at the end of the center straight, but Scott will be able to retain his P2 position. So that means then that Dan Pegowski is slotting in behind Scott in P3.
Yeah, but that's going to be the race that we're now going to have. We have 5 more minutes, and you do see that Dan Pegowski is really in his element over here. He's definitely going to go at one time at least for this position. The only question is, when is he going to do that? Is he going to wait till the end, or is he going to come up here and immediately do this? Looks like he's really getting a lot of draft.
Boy, yep, this is, I think you and I are the same, Pim. Sometimes that first outlap after a pit stop is the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's the concentration. To keep concentrated the whole time. And it feels a little bit like after a pit stop that you're halfway done. But you still need to focus a lot. And yeah, you do see that these cars can have to do that. Because they're in position, going there for position number 2. We do see that Daniel has a little bit more of a tricky exit. And he's losing time over here. Is he losing the draft? Is he not going to make it?
Boy, it looks like he's going to stay with it, but he definitely lost some ground there, but he's still less than a second behind.
Oh, less than a second, yeah, so that is definitely going to go for here.
This hairpin and this turn 2 hairpin and then turn 3 kink, this is a really great opportunity to try to create some separation, and it looks like Scott did manage to do that. And so at least for this lap, I think Scott is looking pretty safe there in P2.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Daniel is not going to make a move over here. So he needs to come closer. He needs to focus, but he's losing a lot of time up here. Look at this. Really running away.
I'm watching Rusty Pottenberg, and he's approaching the start-finish line, and I think he'll cross in time to make sure that this is not the last lap. So basically 2 more laps.
Yeah, that could still be interesting to see what we have, if people have made the right choices with pit stops.
That's right.
But on the moment, Rusty looks awesome. That 17 seconds is never was any problem. The only big race that we have currently is still Scott Allen and Dan Pagowski. They're both going to be on the podium if they at least keep it on the straight. But is there going to be a change? Because Dan has a run up now. Dan has a big run. Look at this. Dan's going away.
Wow, Dan really has managed. This exit is going to be everything, and it does look like Dan got a great launch.
Oh yeah. We're going to see something up here. Look at this. He's going to do it.
Now this is really interesting because there is going to be one more lap after this. And if Dan manages to hold this pass...
Oh, and he can't hold it. Look at this. Scott Allen goes on the inside, stays on the inside. Oh, this is really nice racing from Scott Allen. Look at this. Doesn't want to take that.
That last turn called the bomb hole is tough because the apex has a great bit of camber, and on the outside you don't. And so I think that gave Scott a bit of an advantage.
Well, that gave him a big advantage, but now to see, because he can Dan do it again, because Dan knows how to do it.
Yeah.
He just needs to improve on that one.
Last lap coming here.
Last lap, and we are seeing that they're moving ahead.
Boy.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting. Look at this. Daniel's looking, but he's not making that move yet. You can't make that move.
I think he'll want this good turn 3 exit.
But look at here. He's already looking. Oh, and I do see the Sugar crest on the back, but I'm going to stay over here. Let's have a quick look. We see Rusty Pottenberg. I don't want to miss his opportunity over here to shine. He's in that last corner. Let's go back to Daniel. Is Daniel going to make the move over here?
Closing in at the end.
It looks like he's going to... He needs to do it. This is his only opportunity. And he is going to make that move. Oh, this is exciting. Look at this. Side by side, 2 by 2. But Scott Allen is very quick here. Can do it. No, he can't do it. And then we see Rusty Pottenberg coming to the end. He's going to make that move. The checkered flag is open up here. And Rusty Pottenberg is the winner up here. Congratulations.
Fantastic drive by Rusty. Really, really great.
Yeah, and now the last corner is Daniel coming closer. He is coming closer, but not close enough. We see Scott Allen really defended hard on this part. A great race with Dan Pagowski on the 3rd position, and that completes our podium places. Awesome job. But then don't forget about Kurt Smith. 3 positions up. Look at this. His, I think, 2nd or 3rd race.
Fantastic.
He's 4 positions up. Awesome job.
Yep. And turning in laps also in the 121s, and just great all around for Kurt.
Look at this, and he made that completion. Very nice to see also those new drivers. If you look closely, you can see the SNS stickers. Sunday Night Skippy available at Jake Ashe, but awesome job from
And
Melody in the
Melody
5th
Chance
position.
finishing P5, also up 3 spots.
Yeah, great job. And then a little bit of disappointment, Jake Ashe. Normally he does really well on our undercuts, but it didn't work this time. But do have a quick look on his helmet. I'm not sure if you saw, but he has a new helmet, especially for this Halloween. So congratulations with that. Let's have a quick look at the results. We have 9 more minutes before our race starts. So that's good news. I'm gonna have a quick look if we can get the results up. And yes, the results are in. Rusty Pottenberg, congratulations. Willy Wonka Racing is number 1 on the moment. Scott Allen on the 2nd position, and Dan Pagowski on the 3rd. With Kurt Smith 4th, Melody Change on the 5th, Jake on the 6th, and Joe Zubo on the 7th. And Chris Daniel, too bad he had that incident and was on the 8th position. And the rest doesn't really count. Awesome race. So, Peter, what do you thought of this race?
Oh, you know, I think it was actually, you have to give credit to these drivers. You know, I'm telling you, the pub sessions have been a mess. But here, these drivers turned this incredibly difficult to, you know, shape track into a great race. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was very fun to watch, and I am curious how many drivers we're going to see in the next race. It's going to be around 8 minutes before we're back. We're just going to change our costumes, see if we have some more special guests coming up, and we would love to see you after the break. And we are back for a new race, Formula 1, here at Snetterton. I still have, luckily, my co-commentator, Peter Lee. Peter, we're going to have a quick look. I do see that we're already busy with qualification. Maybe we can drive along with one of our favorite drivers. Let's have a quick look if I can get him on. Let's drive along with Leo, who's currently in the first position.
Yeah, so this is really kind of an interesting track. It's been likened a little bit to Watkins Glen without the hills, meaning that it's has some long straights where the draft is incredibly important, followed by a couple of kind of sweeper little technical sections that give you a little bit of a chance to try to lose someone who's just hanging on to your draft. And so, you know, we're seeing Leo here on the back straight, and as he comes around and tries to set his next flying lap, we can talk through how this goes. But, you know, all week long, Tim, in the pub sessions, at least pub sessions I've been in, you know, this track has invited a lot of two wide and sometimes even three wide situations at the ends of the two long straights. And that's just made things very, very messy. We expect these drivers to be a lot cleaner, but you know, time will tell. So here, let's go ahead and watch this flying lap by Leo of Torras. So he's coming down the front straight, which is the center straight. And you know, having crossed the start-finish line, you come to the end of this straight of turn one, and it's a fast fourth gear right-hand sweeper. And the thing that to watch here, especially at the beginning, first 1 and 2 laps, is this hard braking and all the way down to first gear for the turn 2 hairpin. And as you come out of turn 3, right here is so important because this launches you onto the back straight, the Bentley straight, which is this wide, long, full of draft track that is just going to invite two wide, trust me, I think even three wide situations. And then coming into the best passing opportunity, braking for turn 4, on the knife edge as you go through this left-right kink and into the turn called the bomb hole. The bomb hole is another place that if we still see too wide, there's an important point to launch as you go in this kind of long carousel sweeper that takes you into the final turn, turn 8, a really squirrely technical turn to launch you onto the front straight. And so look for just tons of drafting, quite a bit of two wide, maybe even three wide maneuvers going into the back straight turn 4. It's going to be scary.
It's going to be scary, but I'm really curious what's going to happen. So looking forward to see all the action. We do see 24 people on the track. So what we expected did come through. A little bit of less drivers, but maybe that's not bad for this track. Maybe it's good to have this amount of drivers up here.
Yeah, it would be, you know, of course, Skippy Formula 1 and Sunday Night Skippy sometimes gets more than 40 cars on the grid. That would truly be a terrifying sight on this type of track. Luckily, some of our Skippy Formula 1 drivers have kids and Halloween duties tonight, and so I think we have actually a very nice sized field.
Yeah, and I also think that we have Halloween duty, but that means that we're sitting up here enjoying this Formula 1 race. I always enjoy these events, watching together with you. I'm looking forward to our Sunday morning race that we normally do for the BRL, the ovals. That's going to be in another month, isn't it?
That's right. The Bonfire Racing League takes some time in between each season, and so we've still got a few weeks to wait there. But you know, I think tonight's race, the Skippy Formula 1 race for Sunday Night Skippy, I think we're going to have our hands full just calling all the action. I think there's going to be a ton of it.
Oh yeah, I was hoping that we get some more commentators because it's going to be very difficult. How much time do we still have left Just gonna have
Yeah,
a quick look.
it looks like we still have about 2.5 minutes left in the qualifying session. But as we stand now, we have Leo of Torras sitting in the provisional pole position, and he's turned in a 120.3, which on cold tires is just incredible. And then sitting right behind him is Jeffrey Decker at
Of course.
120.36.
Nice.
But just to be in the 120s on cold tires on this track is just mind-blowing. And it's not just those two, but Peter Nodwell
I was
sitting
just thinking, it's the top 7. The top 7 is currently in that 120. And just behind there we see Carl Dronke. I see still Joshua Dancy trying to compete with his 121.0. And these times are really quick.
Yeah. And once they get into race temperatures on their tires, all these drivers are going to be in the 119s, maybe even breaking into the 118s in the race. 118s on clear track, let alone with draft. It's going to be incredible to watch.
Yeah, and then you also see some racers a little bit behind, but they're Jake Ashe, Don Pogowski. We've seen them before. They just finished the race. They're gonna be excited to start, but I was really tired after one race, so it's gonna be. I'm curious what they're gonna do over here.
Yep. Well, and then Rusty Pottenberg is sitting right now provisionally in P12. He was the Skippy Formula 2 race winner. What a great qualifying result for him.
Well, then I'm suddenly thinking, yeah, Rusty, maybe you are not SF2 material anymore. The top 12, like, I do know that we're in a special situation. Not that some people are not here, but still, that's an awesome place. Number 12.
It is, and you bring up something that was happening for those of you that are just tuning in now and missed the Skippy Formula 2 broadcast. This week on the League Discord, the Skippy Formula 2 Series Administrator, Ian Worrell, opened up the discussion, including a survey, to understand, essentially what is the definition or who should be allowed to race in Skippy Formula 2. And it's been a big subject of discussion. It's if Ian joins us in the booth after his Halloween duties tonight, maybe we'll get a chance to get into that.
Well, we can get into it. What's your opinion?
I've gone back and forth on this because, let's face it, everyone who races in Skippy Formula 2 is in love with Skippy Formula 2. I love it. Everyone loves it. We were saying, Pim, Ian passed out this survey to all the Skippy Formula 2 drivers, and every single active driver, responded. It just shows you how much people care. And
yeah, that definitely shows something. I will say something, and then you can think about it. Maybe we can come back to it in the race. But what about just making it a promotion degradation level, where you just come in, and if you promote, then you promote to Formula 1, and if you don't, if you're driving good or bad enough, you stay in it.
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea. You and I competed in the first season of Skippy Formula 2, and man, it was just so great, and we learned so much, improved so much. I felt personally like I was kicked out of it up into Skippy Formula 1 too early. But you have to draw a line somewhere, so it is.
And I think that's a good one that you mention it, because that's the part where I don't want to be an admin. You always have to make those decisions. You have to think about. You can never do it right. There's always going to be someone angry at it, and I think our admins do an awesome job, not only in Formula 2 but also in Formula 1, where it's even more hectic. And I think we don't say that enough. I do appreciate, even with the discussions, a lot what our admins and Stuart do for this league.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's. It's such a great community, and again, you just look at like every single active driver in Skippy Formula 2 responding to a survey from the administrator. I mean, if you just needed any evidence that people really care and are really a part of the community, that's just a great sign. And we'll see what happens. And I think everybody is just wanting the best for this, and then it pays off in the results. If you just look at the quality and the speed and the racecraft of the drivers in Skippy Formula 2 and Skippy Formula 1 especially, you know, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, I think as long as we get to see that we can drive, everybody can drive, we get a lot of new people, then it's still awesome to do. Just a quick look, Leo in the first position, Jeffrey on the second spot, Pete Notwell, then Michael Mccloud on the fourth position, moved up quite a bit. Mike Bowers on the fifth position, Adam Wright on sixth, and I don't want to miss the grid, so I'm gonna have a quick look if I can go back.
Yeah.
Because this is an awesome grid, look at this. Only 25 cars, but it looks awesome up here.
It does. Now, as they start here, they're going to be able to get up to fourth gear for turn 1, and they'll be on cold tires. So that'll be pretty terrifying with these cars. And then a huge concertina effect as they brake super hard and shift all the way down to first gear for the turn 2 hairpin. So
well, and here we go. First position is going to go. Leo of Torras is there on the lead, and I don't think anybody sees up there, but man, what a kind of skips are over there.
Boy, it's looking like they're getting through turn 1 safely, and now this hard braking and all the way down to first gear for the hairpin. And
look at this, the hairpin. This is where we expect an. Oh, we see Adam going off over here. A lot of people, he's on the middle of the track, so everybody needs to pass him. Does look like everybody does that. And we do see...
Like, Adam was hit from behind, just due to the concertina effect, the hard braking.
Yeah, we do saw some guys over there, but most of them were driving okay over here. Luckily to see that Leo and Jeffrey are safe on there, and immediately already a little bit of a gap. Right behind Mccloud. Mccloud needs to make sure that Peter Notwell and him are coming back.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks to me like Carl Dronke got into the gearbox of Adam Wright there in turn 2.
Well, we are making some moves over here. I can have a quick look what exactly happened.
Oh, and we have another incident now in the sweeper, and it looks like Thomas Photos has wrecked and is in the tow.
All right, let's have a quick look what happened. We do see him standing still over there. That's always a pity.
And Dan Pekowski has also rolled into the pit lane. Probably also received some damage and is looking for a fast repair, and is back out on track.
Yeah, we do see now the whole pack coming onto this straight. It looks like one big line already forming, so you were right, it's not going to be like a pub race. Immediately a lot of tactics and trying to find your position. But on the moment we see Jeffrey really close to Leo, and Peter Notwell has gotten the draft together with Michael Mccloud, so that's a little bit of a 4-pack that we now see driving around over here.
That's right. You know, it's going to be interesting to see the tactics here, because you know, this is such a heavy draft track, you know, both on the front straight, you know, where, you know, the leaders are entering right now. This is the so-called SNS straight. And then especially on the back straight, the Bentley straight. And the reason the Bentley straight is such an important one is it's super heavy draft, and then the best braking zone.
Yeah, and look at this, we now see some really nice, interesting moves up here with Chris Daniel and Rusty Pottenberg. Rusty Pottenberg is keeping that lead, but no, Chris Daniel and Jason Bergmeyer are taking it over. Look at that. Rusty is still excited probably from his first race, from his win, yes. And is bumping really hard over here. Oh, that was Andy Howe that he hit on the back, and he can continue, but that hurts.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't look like there's any damage, but boy, that's he's lost half a dozen positions or more there.
Yeah, and while we spoke about that, of course we missed the quick takeover from Leo from Jeffrey on Leo, because we do see that Leo is now on that second position.
And so the thing to watch here is drafting down the back straight, the Bentley straight, and then the pass coming into turn 4. And I think we're going to see that over and over again. And we may even end up seeing some 3-wide situations at some points in the race there.
Yeah, we do see here that Jason has some issues with that corner. And immediately Brian Perez is coming in. Look at this, Brian Perez. Is he going to take that move over here? Should be able to be very close.
You know, this is the battle for P10.
Oh, and look at that. We also see Jason going into the side. And oh! And this is good for Brian Perez because he's getting a lot closer over here. And this is going to be an interesting corner.
It's an inside line in this hairpin. Oh.
And they made it again. It's amazing.
It is. That has been just a train wreck in the pub sessions. Exactly that turn 3.
But look at this. How beautiful those cars look at.
Yeah.
And Brian Perez is completely boxed in. Chris Daniel on the side of him. He can't do much over there. And Chris Daniel is going to try to overtake, but he's not going to make that. Interesting race over here. And how is it with Adam Wright? He had that incident, is still driving, is currently on the 17th position.
Yeah, he's working his way back up, and you know, it's. I think he was fortunate not to really have any significant damage, and you know, he and Carl have both been working their way back up the field.
Yeah, while we say that, we are looking here in the front because we do see that Jeffrey Decker is running away a little bit, and Leo has to take care of Peter Notwell. And while he's doing that, Michael Mccloud is also getting a lot closer. And look at this. These three are now in fight to make sure that they don't lose Jeffrey Decker. And Jeffrey Decker now needs to push. No tactics, just go.
Hard. Yeah. Because, you know, Leo is still within a half a second of Jeffrey. And, of course, he does have to worry about Peter Nodwell, who's just right on his gearbox. Michael Mccloud is just laying there in wait behind those three. You know, I'm looking also at back in P7. You know, Max DiGiacomo is also just being pressured by Aaron Law, and you know, and they're fighting over P7. And it'll be interesting as they come around on the center straight to see if Aaron's able to get a little better launch here out of turn 8 as they come around.
I do see a lot of people in that corner taking a little bit too much, and you see the dirt coming up.
Yeah, it's so easy to be a little over anxious, and you know, it's actually not faster to take so much dirt there.
Look at this, one big line of skippies over here, and that's also the difficult thing with this this league. If you make a mistake, you're immediately 10 positions gone, because everything is so close to each other. Look at this.
Boy, that is Jason Berkheimer, Brian Perez, Chris Daniel, Steve Dewar, Jeff Torbeck, J.R. Hoops, you know.
Yeah, and then Carl Dronke and Adam Wright. Look at this, those guys are also getting really close again.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss another overturn, and yes, I did miss another overturn. Look at this, Leo of Torras has taken the first position back from Jeffrey Decker, and that means, yeah, they're really gonna play it around. And I'm curious what Peter Notwell and Michael Mccloud are gonna do. Are they just gonna wait till those guys are finished?
I think they will, because you know, I think they're happy. They're extending as a group of 4. Their lead over Mike Bowers in P5. They're a full 5 seconds up. And then Mike is another 2 seconds up on Joshua Dancy running in P6.
Yeah, and what about Aaron La? I haven't spoken much about him, but he's driving there on that 7th position with Max behind him.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of tips from Max. Now Max is using it all.
Yeah, Max helped me in practice session this morning and gave me some good tips, and it does look like, though, Aaron was able to draft past Max, and so that battle for P7 right now has Aaron Law in P7, but Max is looking pretty racy, and as they come onto the back straight, we'll see if Max can get a good draft and get past Aaron to get that get the position back.
Yeah, it does look like he has some move over here.
Yep.
Will he take it? That's now the big chance.
Yeah, boy. And it looks like Max is willing to be a little bit patient there.
He is still very patient, but here on that long straight, what we will see...
By the way, Pim, I want to say that we missed it again. Now Jeffrey's in the lead.
Of course, we missed that. Well, that was scary. Let's have a quick look if we can go back to those guys, because they keep messing with us. It looks like they were glue together, and Mccloud is not even doing anything. He's just saving. I know he does a lot with strategy, so I'm curious if that is the case right now again.
It's such a good point, Pim. You know, Michael does some careful math ahead to just understand his fuel strategy, and if this is going to save him a second or two in one of his refueling stops, you know, that could be big.
He will definitely do that, yes.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking also just again this train, you know, from P9 on back. It's with Jason Berkheimer, Brian Perez, Chris Daniel, Steve Dewar, Jeff Torbeck, JR Hoops. It looks like Carl Drunke and Adam are trying to catch up to that P9 train. It's none of those cars are really able to shake each other.
Although I do think that Peter Knott will have some difficulties to catch up with Jeffrey Decker.
Yeah.
Or is that just... I don't know.
Yeah, it's you know, it's interesting, you know, when you have a train like this, because if you're the P3 and P4 cars, you don't get, you know, the same passing opportunities because of the draft that the P2 guy gets, and so you know, it's I think that, you know, they probably want to be patient, but they probably also are forced to be patient.
Yeah, so here we're driving. Is this the chance where Jeffrey Decker is gonna take over, or is he gonna stay behind? It looks like he's just coasting around Leo. It's really a tactical race over here. I don't see them do that much of it.
Yeah. You know, one of the interesting things about Skippy Formula One, the way the race points work, there are additional bonus points for leading many laps. Leading a lap, you get a bonus point. Leading the most laps, you get a bonus point. But leading bunches of laps, and there's a formula to determine what a bunch is, gives you additional bonus points. And so, you know, there's an incentive, bottom line, to lead as many laps as possible. And it makes real championship standing differences to do that.
Michael Mccloud is now the fastest lap, of course, because he can draft along over there. I want to have a quick look how it is with Adam Wright, and Adam Wright is actually going straight into the pit. Look at this. Oh, that was a nice timing to have a look at what he's doing. But he went to the pit of one of the first ones.
Yep.
So I know that he's quite tactical in this as well, and he knows how to do this.
Jake Gaucher, no surprises coming in also.
Of course, Jake Gaucher.
Oh, yep. Yeah, this is a good move by Adam, I think, because you know he's faster than, you know, most of the cars that have been in front of him, and so, you know, trying an undercut like this, you know, could be a good thing. And it looks like he'll get a little bit of a boost by catching Dan Pogowski's draft.
Yeah, and what I also see now is that he was driving with Carl Drunke, and Carl Drunke is in a complete battle. He's surrounded by cars on the moment with Jeff Torbeck and JR Hoops over there.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and so, you know, it'll be Adam and
look at this, that Carl Drunke. Carl Drunke is taking a big move over here. Is he gonna pressure JR Hoops over here, or is he possible? Can he keep it? I'm very curious.
Looks like he got a great exit out of turn 8.
Look at this, he's going for the outside line. Interesting choice over here. But he does make it. Wow, nice to see on that outside line. And immediately there's someone falling off. We can't see that very well.
It's Jake Ashley.
Oh, Jake Ashley is that nice move of Jake, because he gave a lot of room over there. I was a bit worried, but great move of him to give room. And that means that they can continue the fight. Let's have a go quickly back to the front. Leo of Torras and Jeffrey Decker.
Right, and it's, of course, it looks like we missed it again, and Leo is back in the lead, I think.
Yeah, and I expect that one of them up here is going for the pit. I'm not sure which one, but I'm guessing that Jeffrey Decker is going to go for the pit up here.
You know, it's kind of interesting again, because I don't know if the intercut works. These guys are pulling out a gap. They probably want to all... Don't you think they would all want to wait for Leo to make the first move?
Yeah. True. But the only thing is that I think Leo is the one that will drive a little bit further than Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey will try a little bit more. We do see that Stephen Durr, let's go quick look, Stephen Durr actually passed.
Just looking at that, with Brian Perez is trying to make a move on the outside coming into turn one. This is so hard to do because this is a fast fourth gear right-hand sweeper. So very hard. You really need a good run there. And
Jeff Torbeck is now looking at JR Hoops as well. Is he going to make a move, or is JR going to defend over here? Oh, nice move from JR Hoops. Comes really close to Carl Dronke. That's going to have a nice draft run right now. Man, they keep going. And look at this, Carl Dronke is going to make that move on the Perez. Brian Perez can't hold that line.
And here, you know, it's a little bit of a better spot because there's a little more braking here. You go down to third gear for that left-hander, and then all the way down to second for this right.
Oh, and Perez was trying to defend, and immediately that means that JR Hoops can also take a position.
Oh,
or is he going to defend it? Look at this.
Oh.
And we're talking about position number 12, huh? Oh,
yes,
and we do see all the important guys going in. Michael Mccloud, Leo of Torras, Mike Bowers, Peter Notwell, Joshua Dancy, Jeffrey Decker. What happened to Jeffrey? Why is Jeffrey so low?
Yeah, and Max DiGiacomo, who knows? They're all in the pits. But, you know, just as we were predicting, Tim, you know, I think they all waited for Leo to make the first move.
I do think, but I'm really curious how to get out, because I thought Jeffrey Decker was really late, and you do see Mccloud is already going out. Look at this, Mccloud is out, so that is a different tactic.
Just as you also predicted, Michael.
Oh man, I should be a broadcaster. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Michael Mccloud has made a lot of moves, but also Leo has lost from Mike Bowers, and Jeffrey Decker lost over 4 seconds. Look at this, Jeffrey Decker, position number 9 after Joshua Dancy.
Something happened. You're right with Jeffrey Decker's pit entrance.
All right, let's All right, I do see what happens. Let's have a quick look. We do see Jeffrey Decker actually went off track just when he went into the pit lane. We'll see that over here right now. He went into the pit lane, and with Leo behind him, and Leo missed his spot. Oh, and basically blocks everybody. Look at that, and only Mccloud has a way to enter that. Oh, wow.
Boy.
That is a big mess up.
Yeah.
This has big consequences for the lead. And suddenly we have Michael Mccloud running 3.1 seconds away from Leo of Torras.
Boy, that's going to be a very interesting stewarding situation this week. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, because Michael Mccloud is now passing Carl Dronke, who's in the pit. Aaron La is coming out of the pit. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, Michael is now a full 3 seconds clear of Leo of Torras. And then Mike Bowers has now emerged into P3, and Joshua Dancy in P4.
Yeah, look at this, Joshua Dancy and Jeffrey Decker. Jeffrey Decker immediately makes that move. Looks a little bit like Joshua Dancy was giving space, because he knows that Jeffrey Decker is really fast, and he knows he wants to come back right now. So I think it's a great move. Give him room and go behind him.
It is a really great move because, I think Joshua is going to get all sorts of benefit from Jeffrey's draft here.
Yeah, and I'm curious what Carl Dronke up here is going to do. 12th position, right behind him J.R. Hoofs, in front of him Jason Bergmeyer. Well, we do see that David Perez is getting passed by Jeff Thorbeck, but he's taking that move back if we see it. Yes, very close up here, Brian Perez, but is losing that currently 5th, 14th spot on Jeff Thorbeck.
Pam, I'm looking back now to see where Adam Wright has ended up after all of those pit stops, and that undercut has worked him up to P8 now, and he's putting pressure on Aaron Law for P7.
Oh wow, and he has Peter Notwell behind him. Peter Notwell, who was in 2nd position or 3rd position the whole time. So he's also very quick. Those two guys can work together.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Adam's, partner in that early lap 1 incident, Carl Dronke, has worked his way back up to P12.
Yeah, so you see that over there as well, that Adam was just ahead of Carl and now is already like 4 spots ahead. Who's our biggest achiever on the moment? I think Jeff Thorbeck on the 14th position with 6 positions up.
Yep, and Steve Dewar is up. He's running P10 right now. He's up 5 spots.
Yeah, and he is in an awkward position with Jason Berkheimer and Carl Dronke right behind him. But not for long, because Jason made the move and he stuck it, so nice move.
And you have, for those of you watching and haven't been on this track in a Skip Barber car, or haven't even been on iRacing, just how hard and clean these guys are driving on this track. It's just spectacular. And trust me, the public sessions, the official sessions all week they've been train wrecks, and it's just it's so impressive and wonderful to see how clean all these drivers are.
Yeah, and we do see that they know the track very well. Very clean driving here for 11th position. Let's go back to 1st position, because I do see that Leo and Mike are coming back to Michael Mccloud. A nice livery of Michael Mccloud with that Canadian flag on in the front.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently 2.6 seconds ahead, but is losing time, and we still we're not even halfway. So that's a long time to keep this up. But for Mike Bowers, it's an excellent position. He's right behind Leo. Do we have to do another pit stop?
Yes, I think there will be a second pit stop. And,
well, then it's at least good to be behind Leo and not in front of him.
It is, and just knowing Steve and the way he likes to drive, I think he's probably feeling pretty good about his situation right now. I'm looking back, in the battle for P17, Andy Au is starting to feel some heat from Matt Shupka. And, I think Matt's been slowly closing in on Andy and is now, about half a second behind, as they come out to the front straight. So it looks like with draft help, another lap or two, Matt might be right on Andy's gearbox, and it'll be another battle to watch.
Yeah, it's always fun to drive with Matt. We know him from our GT3 series, where he drives the most difficult cars. The only bad thing of Matt is that he can't set up any setups. He always wants to use lava, but he's really good in driving the skip over here. Look at this, 18th position, but he's now really close to Andy Au. I think he's going to make that move right up here. He needs to make that move.
Yeah.
Can he stick that?
Well, this back straight is really the best opportunity.
He has the point. He has him over here. Does he have the guts? That's not what it is. No, he doesn't have the guts. Look at this. He doesn't want to do it right now. He keeps a safe distance, and they do go a lot quicker than Rusty Pottenberg right over there. Makes a mistake in the distance, and they're actually getting both really close up now.
Yeah, they're closing the gap to Rusty Pottenberg, and so this could turn into a battle for P16, not just a battle for P17.
And while I will say that Carl Dronke has overtaken Peter Notwell, or Peter Notwell has overtaken Carl Dronke. is overtaking Jason Burkheimer. Okay, now we're getting it right again. So Carl and Jason are really fighting it out over here.
Boy, that's yeah. So Carl Drunke has worked his way back up to P10. Adam Wright, his partner in crime there in lap 1, in P8 with Peter Nodwell sandwiched in between. Oh, it looks like Jake Ashe has wrecked in the turn 2 hairpin and is in a tow.
I saw something like that and I wanted to see it, but he was too fast for me to get away.
Jeff Torbeck may have been involved in that incident. I'm not sure, but he's appearing to be in the midst of a tow as well.
Let's have a quick look what happened with Jeff Torbeck. Yeah. Oh, no, Jeff Torbeck was actually just parking the car right over there. So not much about him. But how is it with Leo of Torras and Michael Mccloud?
Does look like, yeah.
He's, I think, nearly into the draft, and he has, of course, Mike Bowers that's joining him. And good to see that Jeffrey Decker is again on that 4th position. Amazing drive from Jeffrey Decker. Was hit really badly and is now already on that 4th position. And Joshua Dancy hasn't left his side.
Joshua's sticking right on Jeffrey.
It's right there. Best move ever. Just sticking behind Jeffrey Decker and let's bring it up to the front. And he's doing that right now over here.
So it's going to, you get the feeling, don't you, Pim, that we're soon going to have a top 5 group of Michael Mccloud, Leo of Torras, Mike Bowers, Jeffrey Decker, and Joshua Dancy.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to form up soon.
I do hope that Jeffrey Decker is going to make that, that we don't have that Leo is running away. I hope that Michael Mccloud can hold this for a little while and that we really get a big group up here. I think they deserve that. We deserve that kind of drive.
Absolutely.
It was a bit of a weird incident.
Yeah. In P6, Max DiGiacomo is running some fast laps, but unfortunately maybe about 4/10 slower because I think he's not benefiting from draft. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do. He does have Aaron Law and Adam Wright starting to close up behind him. Maybe that ends up helping Max, if they're a group of 3.
Yeah, I think they're too far away for that. And while we see also that Jeffrey Decker has a tough time to actually come back. It's not really making any moves on the moment.
It does look like Leo of Torras and Mike Bowers now have completely caught up to Michael Mccloud as they close in on turn 4 on the back straight. So now it's a tight group, P1, 2, and 3 at the top.
Hey, and what about Adam Wright? He's now really getting close, and we see Carl Drunke actually overtaking Peter Notwell in the back over there. I do think that Adam Wright needs to make a move right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Adam Wright and Aaron Law have, they've been nose to tail for a couple of laps now. And so it's, I wonder if Adam is being patient here, or if Aaron is just managing to stay far enough ahead that makes it hard for Adam to get by.
All right, and we did see the move just made by Leo of Torras. He's now taking the lead over from Michael Mccloud. It was quite quick, and I'm curious if Michael Mccloud now immediately takes that over. Or is he going to sit there and just wait again? Is he going to play that waiting game?
Yeah.
I think so,
Well, we know Michael. Michael is he's another one of these drivers that's very, very patient. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Michael wants to play this game again and wait for his chances later in the race.
Now, good news for the fans of Jeffrey Decker. Currently, it's 3.7 seconds away. And they both take that exit a little bit too much. Or is that how you need to take it, Peter? I don't think so. I don't think that makes you a lot quicker.
Well, yeah, you need to take all of the curb, but not an inch more.
But not that much. And look at this, how they slide through that corner. Really taking that line very well. And Mike Bowers is on that back. I don't trust Mike Bowers. Mike Bowers is definitely going to make a move over here. Adam Wright is still not close enough to Aaron Lay, who just is very consistent and keeps driving very strong over there. And how is it with Peter Notwell? Peter Notwell is on...
It's it does look like Carl Dronke, has made his way past Peter Nodwell, but they are paired together. And then Jason Berkheimer is starting to feel some heat from Steve Dewar. So we are starting to see these little groups of 2 forming up around the track. There's the lead group of 3 with Leo of Torras, Michael Mccloud, and Jeffrey Bauer. But then we have the pair of Jeffrey Decker and Joshua Dancy. We have the pair of Aaron Law and Adam Wright vying for P7. We have Peter Nodwell and Carl Dronke fighting over P9. And Jason Berkheimer and Steve Dewar fighting for P11. Just no chances to relax on any of these straights for any of these drivers.
Oh, Michael Mccloud goes into the pit again.
Ah.
So is that his second pit stop? Or
yeah,
that's his second pit stop.
Yes, it's his second pit stop.
Oh, what kind of tactic is that? Adam Wright is also going in. Look at this. Adam Wright also going in.
Very interesting.
That's an interesting strategy, because then they need to go for a long run.
Yes. And Pim, throughout this season, both Skippy Formula 1 and Skippy Formula 2, we are seeing more and more drivers adopting undercut strategies. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no. The thing is that you can't just win it anymore on just driving fast. You need to do everything. You see that on Leo of Torras. He can do the quickest times, but he still can't manage to do the quickest races. Because, or not always, because there are people who take advantage of that. And one of them is Mike Bowers. Mike Bowers is there always doing really well. Last time it was an advantage when Leo and Jeffrey hit each other. But currently, Mike is just really close to Leo, and Jeffrey Decker can't get any closer to Leo. Look at that. Still 3 seconds.
That's right. And so Leo of Torras and Mike Bowers are going for another lap, so they're not yet pitting. So it's going to take a little time for us to understand how things will shake out with Michael Mccloud. Michael Mccloud, is starting to close up on who? On Brian Perez? And
no, I think that's a back marker, because I recognize that's Chris Daniels' car. So that's a back marker that he has over there.
Chris Daniel, you're right. Yes. And so that's it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. So Michael has
really difficulties. No, this is not good. This is not good for him.
Yeah.
He will have to go through the pack again, while the others can still continue driving.
Yeah.
So maybe this was a little bit too quick for him.
Yeah, it's interesting. He will get some draft benefit, from Chris and eventually from Brian if he can catch him. Because I don't think he's being held up at the moment. But I think you're right though, Tim. It's not totally clear track.
News: Leo of Torras has come in, and he was on the first position, so he couldn't hit anybody. And Mike Bowers is safely behind him. Jeffrey Decker is in one piece, and Joshua Dancy, Max, Carl Dronke, Peter Notwell. So now we have really the whole group is in.
Meanwhile, Michael Mccloud has now entered the front straight, and so we will soon get an answer to see if his undercut strategy has paid off or not.
Yeah, we do see Leo coming out already, but he doesn't have the speed, and we saw that in the SF2 as well. But this is going to be very, very, very tight. Look at this, he's really closing in, and he does have the speed on Leo, but Leo can defend right now. Is Leo defending? Yeah, Leo is defending really nicely.
Really well.
Michael is just not making that move. He knows he can't make that move. There's also a back marker right in front of him. Look at that.
Yep.
Makes a nice move over there from Chris Daniel. That's how you do blue flags. Awesome way of driving. And how is Jeffrey Decker going on? Because Jeffrey Decker is now 4.6 seconds ahead of away
Yes.
of Mccloud. So he's really losing time.
Yeah, and Joshua Dancy is still stuck on his gearbox and running, at least of the drivers who have made 2 pit stops, is running a very strong P4.
Yeah, and I do want to mention Jason Burkheimer, who's driving now on the first position. So before he goes into the pits, Jason, you made it. You're on the first position. Well done.
Yes.
Always a special thing. I know some other drivers are really looking forward to do that once. He's going into the pit right now, as expected. And that means
that's
that...
fantastic. What a great thing there.
Yeah, I like that. And then look at this. Leo of Torras on the first position. Still has Michael Mccloud here in the back. And now passing Jason. Jeffrey is 4.7 seconds away together with Joshua Dancy. And we do see Michael Mccloud slipping away.
Oh, I'm just noticing on the front straight, looks like Adam Wright is making a move on Max DiGiacomo.
If you were set the position, then I would have got there quicker.
Oh,
but we do see it over there. Look at this. We did show just in time the moment. Nice move of Adam Wright. It is Max. Max, yeah. Oh, Max is so close to it. But Max is making that really work.
And it's going to be now so hard for Adam Wright to hold this position now on this back straight. You know, just given the draft here. And so we'll watch and see if Max can reclaim this P5.
I think he can. But he's not doing it. Aaron La is also not doing it. They're both staying behind it.
Yep. Great
really
patience.
focusing. Yeah, look at this. But currently 5th position. Adam Wright really came back all the way through the pack. Impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive. And, you know, good speed, good consistency, but also it looked like he used his pit stops well, the timing of them.
Oh, yeah, he used all his time on the pit stops. And we do see that Jeffrey Decker is really losing on the moment from Michael Mccloud and Leo of Torras. It's 5.1 seconds.
Yep.
So it will be a fight, I think, or there really needs to happen something between Michael Mccloud and Leo of Torras. And is that really going to be till the end of the race? Or do we see some more action? Because otherwise we need to go to some different... Look at this. We'll give Michael Mccloud a chance over here to overtake. But he's not going to do that.
I'm looking back in P5 again. Max DiGiacomo, Aaron Law are just pouring all sorts of pressure on Adam Wright.
Oh, look at this. They're going like now too wide. Aaron Law keeps that up over there, and he actually makes that move. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Max going in the outside. Oh, that can't go well. That does go well. Look at this. Carl Dronke back.
Wow.
I think this is really what we want to see. Those races, those kind of actions up here.
Oh, fantastic battling there. And then, you know, back up front, you know, with Leo of Torras and Michael Mccloud, you know, this is now a chess match between these two. You know, the way these two are going, I think you might want to be the number 2 car on the last lap. Just,
the thing is, you have no choice. If you're Leo, you have no choice. Michael Mccloud is not going to pass you right here. He's going to wait till the last lap and make that move. So Leo just needs to shake him off. He has like still a couple of times. We're only 37 minutes in of the 45. So I think he's just going to try now to break him. And otherwise, yeah, you need to prepare for that last round. But Michael Mccloud is not going to make a move.
You're right on target then, because, you know, Michael... you know, they have a 6-second lead now over Jeffrey Decker and Joshua Dancy running.
Yeah, I'm looking at the more interesting race here. Max takes the move over Aaron La on the moment. And it is like, okay, everybody can move on everybody, but Adam stays in front. Look at this. Carl Dronke right over there in the back. Peter Nordwell, who had that bad incident in that pit as well. Couldn't avoid anybody, is already still in that 9th position. Would be nice if he can still come up here as well.
Yeah.
Look at this. Max is
Boy,
really getting a lot closer now.
this is just epic. This is, Adam Wright, Max Giacomo, Aaron Law, Carl Dronke, and then, Peter Nodwell trying to make his way to join that group. But boy, this is another chess match within a chess match.
Yeah, and I don't know where I need to look. Like, do we need to look at Adam, or do we need to look at Max, or is Aaron Law gonna make a move? No, it is actually all four of them. Look at this, all four of them are gonna make a move right now. Oh, Carl Dronke! Oh, Carl Dronke lost it over there. What an awesome move that was!
Yeah,
Just hit
like
the
he got
grass.
squeezed off just a little bit and had to put a wheel on the grass. And
Oh man, that's too bad.
yeah, and that's the heaviest braking zone on the entire track, right there. You're going from fourth, all the way down to first gear under heavy braking, and so.
So we have
pretty
3-1
well.
left, and now we see Max making a move on Adam Wright. So even Adam is not safe anymore. He needs to be fighting now again, and Max is really making a strong move.
What happened to Carl there in pub sessions, I had at least 3 times people dive bomb me on the inside there. It was very interesting to see Carl trying to make the move on the outside.
Ah man, he was going really quick, and then he hit that little bit of grass, and then it was over. Just to make sure that we also watch some other drivers, let's have a quick look. I see JR Hoops getting closer a little bit to Jason Berkheimer. Could that be a nice opportunity to take over? It's a little bit far away, I think.
I think he could. He's within Jason's draft, and so that should really help. Now, of course, Jason is getting, I think, a little bit of a draft assistance from Steve Dewar up ahead. But no, look at this. JR is definitely closing in on. JR is definitely closing in on.
Oh, and he's going on the outside. Look, whoa.
Yep.
Oh, that was wow, that was a nice move of JR on the outside, and I don't think Jason expected that. Really
like
great.
Jason got surprised or something and maybe lifted.
Yeah, I think so as well. And while we talk about that, of course, we see a fight going on with Aaron Law and Max and Adam Wright. Currently, Adam Wright is in that third spot. Didn't expect that from these guys, but Max and Aaron take it to him.
Well, these 3 guys are playing leapfrog with each other. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, let's not forget that we have to watch at the end of the race what Michael Mccloud is going to do.
Yep.
On the moment, he's just right behind them. How's Mike Bowers doing? And why is Mike Bowers on the 16th position? What happened to him?
Oh,
I missed that
is a
completely.
good question. Yeah, we missed something. There must have been some incident.
Well, I hope he comes to...
Yeah.
He's now behind Rusty Pottenberg, who has won our race. And he goes off the track, so that means that Mike Bowers has an easy position over here. Can take that quite nicely, but this is not where Mike Bowers wanted to drive. Now let's have a quick look what
So now I think, if we go back up to the front, Michael Mccloud is just pounding Leo of Torras, and I believe this time around will be the white flag lap. We'll have to watch to see if they get a white flag up front here. And so, Michael is just sticking on Leo's gearbox.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything else from him on the moment on that way. He did have that lucky pass that he wasn't hit in the first incident where all our leaders went out. But he's gonna make a move. Where is he gonna make the move? Where do you think he's gonna make the move?
Yeah, in fact, that was not the white flag lap, so that means there are 2.
All right,
yeah.
let's go to a fight where they are gonna make some moves.
Yeah.
I do see Max still fighting hard with Aaron Law and Adam Wright.
Well, and this is the battle on the track, I think, between these 3 drivers, between Max, Aaron, and Adam. And, Aaron is really more than holding his own. He's running that strong P5, and with Max right behind him and Adam right behind Max. But
Yeah,
as
look
they
at this,
come
look at
in-
this. And now they're coming inside. This Aaron La is going to take that inside, but it's not a comfortable corner. Oh, and I think Adam Wright has the best spot over here because he comes out really nicely. Oh, we can't overtake over there.
Yeah.
It's
That
really,
bomb
really
hole,
close.
turn, yep, it really is a single line because of hard camber on the inside.
So they're getting really close up here. But that means that we're now officially in the last round.
That's right. And so back up front, I think we are in the last. Yes, we are in the last lap, and this now up front, this exit here from turn 3 by Leo and Michael. This will be Michael's probably best and maybe last hope.
So is he going to make that move? Is he going to keep it, stick it over there? Look at this. Michael Mccloud, yeah, he's looking, but I don't think he's fast enough to make that move. And well, yeah, he is making that move. Look at this, goes to the inside. Oh, he is trying.
Yes.
But he's not making that stick. And then I am curious what's going to happen on the back over there, because we see Jeffrey Decker also needs to defend Joshua. But that's not going to happen. He's not going to make that move. And does Michael Mccloud have another shot? Does he have one more shot over here?
One more. There'll be a drag race as they come around to this turn 8 left-hander. They go all the way down.
Oh, and there he is really closing in right now. He is on the back, but he's taking a little bit bigger of an exit. Is he going to keep that sticking over there? I can't think. No, he's not going to make that. It is very close, but he's not going to make that over here. Leo of Torras wins this race. Michael Mccloud, very congratulations on the second position. Jeffrey Decker is number 3. Joshua Dancy, number 4. And then we see the positions here for Max. Is he going to take that 5th? He's going to take it. With right behind him, Aaron La, Adam Wright, Peter Northwell on the 8th position. And who do we have else? Steven Durr, Carl Dronke, of course, 9th. Steven Durr, 10th position. We see JR Hoops, very solid race, 11th position. Brian Paris, Andy Dow, Mike Bowers. I don't know what happened with him. Hope he comes into the booth to explain a little bit what happened on his second incident.
Kyle Reed, ran a very strong race, finishing P15, but up 10 spots from where he qualified.
Oh man, I love that paint of him. Awesome job. Hey, and then Benjamin Harris. I'll be honest, I missed him a little bit in the race. But it's 16th position. Jason Berkheimer, 17th. Rusty Pottenberg's got to be excited after 2 of those big races. Wow, so that was it. That was already the whole race. Time flies when you're having fun.
Wow, I was, well, it's Halloween, so I guess it's normal to be scared. I was scared about what was going to happen at this race, just based on how the official pub sessions have been going all week. But you have to hand it to these drivers. They just gave us a great show.
It was a very good show. Yeah, I do have to say it's bad to see an incident. I'm happy that basically everybody had a problem with it, so they could run back. And yeah, nice race. Also, I see some people that I didn't expect that high. Aaron Laas, I think a long time since he was in the top 6, and done an awesome job there with Max and Adam. I think for me that was really the fight of the day. And a great winner with Aaron La, with Max and Aaron La over there.
Hey, it looks like we have Michael Mccloud waiting, so I'll bring him in.
Yeah, no, I'm curious what he's going to say about those last parts.
Michael, this is Peter and Tim. Great race.
Thank you. Oh man, I'm sweating like crazy.
So tell us a little bit. You go into that pit stop, you drive over there, and then what happens? Explain it to us.
Oh, that first pit stop, I was just
That
thinking,
first one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking, oh man, please be a good pit stop. And then that happened. I was like, oh, what do? I stopped and I say, oh, there's a little gap. I guess, I'll weave into here. And then I came out first. I was like, oh, how long can this last? Not long.
No, that was difficult. And then what was your tactic? Because at one point I thought you're just gonna stick with Leo forever and not gonna make any moves. But you did on that last moment. You were trying. What happened?
Well, I was trying, and I was really worried about it going 34 laps, so I didn't want to make a push and then all of a sudden not have enough fuel. So just to make sure, because I do the manual calculations. So, and then I was also timing the straight and seeing how far I needed to be to make the pass to get overlap and all that. And it just so happened on turn 2, I pooched it and couldn't get the overlap.
Yeah, well, and then you just have to pick your battles. I do think that this is your best performance, I think. Or am I wrong in this?
I've never been P2. It feels really interesting.
It definitely feels interesting. I can't imagine it. I've never done it. But I think you had a couple of opportunities where you were really well in the top 10, and then something happens in the last round. So great to see you up here, and avoiding that incident was already quite a bit of an exercise. But no, awesome job.
Michael, it did look like on that very last lap coming into turn 4 that you thought about sticking your nose in to try to get overlap. And,
Oh,
you know,
yeah. I thought about it, but I was like, I couldn't get the proper overlap, and I knew I had to back out. It was the right thing to do.
All right,
well,
and
Michael,
Peter.
congrats.
Yeah, congrats, Michael. But Peter, we do have one thing that we need to talk about, and that is, of course, how Leo entered the pit. We can talk about the whole race, but I want to start with that. Leo, what happened? Give us a little bit of an introduction on that one.
I'm totally sorry about that. We were going into the pits, both of us, fairly close. I saw that he was slowing down, and it was much sooner than I had anticipated, and I accidentally locked up my brakes and ran into the both of us.
Yeah, well, luckily you basically locked down the whole pit street for everybody, so it was a nice race again, and I think everybody had the same problem on it. We can't say that there was an advantage for anybody, except Michael was very lucky in that part, but you did got back to him. How was that for you in the race? You have that incident, you don't feel well, I can imagine that, and how do you go back then into a race, and then you see Michael Mccloud that you need to catch up with?
Yeah, at that moment when I saw that he was in front of me, I tried very, very hard to push the incident to the back of my head and just really, really start concentrating on just putting in as clean laps as I could. And if every lap just chipped away at it, and then when I finally got to tow range, then it was game on, and then we were gonna see what was gonna happen. And he did an amazing job driving the car like he did, especially at the end when he was gonna give that last lap pass in turn 4 or 5. That was I was waiting for it, and I was hoping we were gonna make it out alive, and we did.
Yeah. No, we were hoping
close.
on that one as well. Michael, any feedback on that?
Yeah, that was close. I don't know how you they like a bat out of that turn 2, and I could not keep up to you even though I had the draft. It's like you have a turbocharger in that car, so that was awesome how you
Well,
did that.
Michael, you can tell all about Leo that he has a turbo, but I do think that you had that same turbo, and I was thinking the same thing as Leo at one point. It was like, you know what, let's come back to them in the last lap, because that's where the firework is going to happen, and you did make a move. I was happy to see that, but you couldn't keep it sticking, and second position, man, that's a dream come true. If I ever come that far, then I'll be happy. But so how are you? Go ahead.
Leo, let me ask, because it was such a exciting race, and on that last lap, with Michael in your draft, it looked like he was thinking about trying to achieve overlap coming into turn 4, on the last back straight. What was going through your mind right at that moment?
Well, it started at turn 1. I saw that he was as close as he was as close as he had been the whole time, and then
Yep.
what I really, really wanted to accomplish was getting as smooth and as deep of a braking zone into turn 2 as I could, to set up the exit of that as best I could. That was the only thing that was gonna like help me, and it was just enough because if I messed it up any more than that, then he would have had much more of an overlap.
Mm-hmm. One of the things we were talking about during the broadcast, just watching the two of you battling in the last part of the race, is whether it was better to be in P2 or in P1, with 1, 2, 3 laps to go. But I think you showed us that being in P1 can really work, even on a track that where the draft is as powerful as it is here.
Yeah, you're right. It I mean, it can really go either way. Being in P2, even being as far back as P3, and just getting like a double draft at the back straight can be very beneficial too.
And I think another factor, I was just thinking back about it now, is coming into T1, I started following so close that it actually faltered up it messed up my turn 2. Had to brake a little early, and I couldn't accelerate as soon either. So it's almost like following as close as like point 2 is almost not even that beneficial.
Interesting. One of the things we noticed about all of you guys who are at the very top of the field on this track is you are incredibly patient coming into turn 2, and even when you guys were under all that pressure, it just was pretty impressive to watch that. I guess that exit from turn 2 is getting that right seems so crucial for a lap here.
Yeah, out of all those turns, definitely turn 2 was probably one of the most, if not equal to getting turn 4 correctly.
So guys, let's talk about the big things. We're talking about championship. Leo, you're making it very excited. I was thinking you're gonna run away with this from lap 1, from race 1 till now. But you had quite a bit of learning things to do with pit stops and some penalties. How do you see this championship? What is your goal for this season?
So yeah, I've had conversations with some close friends about this, and I just want to learn as much as possible, and just try to drive as hard as I can while still being as clean as I possibly can, while being as close to everyone as I possibly can too, especially people such as Jeffrey or Mike or Pete or anybody, right? Adam, of course, like any of those guys. Like we don't ever want to drive in a manner that like accidents will ensue. But
I want to stop you over there because I think that's actually everybody in SNS. It has that intent, and that's also why if these things happen, they happen, and we need to get over it, and we need to move on. I think that's something that I really appreciate on this league. That things can happen and you can make mistakes, but you don't do it on purpose. And we look forward to the next race. So, but I'm curious. Like for you, is it so? It's really just learning this first one. Championship is not really yet a topic to discuss.
No, I mean, I wasn't going into this thinking that I would win a championship in my first time going. It was more just, it was really more just like trying to get these things that I wasn't used to right and consistently, pit stops and strategy and pit strategy and all that stuff. Like this was very new, and of course, like I messed up a lot, and I'm still learning, and I'm, trying to improve as much as I can.
No, it's great, and I think Pete Mobrotten said it really well. Like, it's not easy to win a championship in this SNS. You need to do everything right, and we have a few winners of this championship, and those are the special kind of drivers. So I think it looks really good that you can't just come in and win and run away. It's a lot of learning. But then, Michael Mccloud, how is the championship for you? Because I see you slowly coming in that top 5. And how do you look at the top at the championship?
Don't make mistakes. I don't know. I just look at it like I'm gonna try and make a good run at something this season and try and just go for the most consistent role rather than absolute fastest. And I think that's my goal for the whole season. And I'm hoping that lands me somewhere in the top 5, just out of random coincidence in some kind of way.
Yeah, no, that's a great goal, and I think you're heading that way, because I think you're already in that top 5, especially with this kind of points that you got. So great job on that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next races. Where is the next race? You guys should know that.
Mid Ohio.
Mid Ohio. Did you already practiced?
I have. It's funny. I did a coaching session with Suelio, and
Ooh,
the track we used, Mid Ohio.
all right, you're spending money now, Leo. Look out, he's not done yet.
Yeah.
I believe it. He's shown a lot of speed.
Yeah, no, he's it's funny. Michael is one of the drivers who started in Formula 1, Formula 2, and was way too quick. When we discussed all these kind of things, Michael Mccloud is that one kind of driver that needs to be here in that Formula 1. And I think you've shown that today in an excellent drive. Kept it calm, made some really nice moves. So congratulations, both of you. We'll see what come in our next race. Peter, do you have any last words?
Oh,
Or do you guys want to say sorry? You guys want to say something? Michael, come on, you're in the booth. You're second place. Anybody who you want to thank?
Just I don't know. Thanks for my wife, I guess, for letting me practice, and thanks for everyone who's watching. And yeah, thank you, Leo, for letting me have fun out there beside you or behind you. Hopefully, I'll be in front of you.
I don't doubt that.
And yeah.
Awesome. Leo, do you have any last words? Any people you want to say something to? His name is Jeffrey Decker, by the way.
Yes, of course. Wanted to thank the Shake and Bake crew, Barry, Joshua, Steve, JR, Jeff, Carl, all those guys. And of course, this one should have been Jeffrey's. He was the better man today, for sure.
No, awesome. I think it's great that we have these races. Peter, then for you, it's the last word. What do you think about this race? What do you think about next week? Mid-Ohio, I know that you like that circuit.
While you guys were chatting, I was looking at the point standings after tonight's race, and if we drop one race, then we do have Leo of Torras as number 1 in the season standings, and Michael Mccloud tied for 5th with Joshua Dancy.
Ooh.
And so kudos. It's looking very tight. And I just have to congratulate and thank both you, Leo, and congratulations for the win, and Michael on the P2. But really, the entire field. As you guys know, the pub sessions this week have been a train wreck. And I was fearing for what was going to happen at tonight's race, but man, it was just a masterful show by the entire field, especially by the two of you. Congrats.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The trick to the pub race is practice a lot on Sunday, do the very first one Monday, and hopefully you qualify pole, run away with the race. That's what I did. It worked.
All right. Well, hopefully that works again in this new track that's coming up. I would like to thank everybody who's watching this. We have a lot of viewers who are always giving us tips and help us in the broadcast. Really appreciate it. I wish everybody a great Halloween still till 12 o'clock, and have a great week. And we'll see you next week. All right, guys. Are you still there? Okay. Ah, Mox. Yeah, right, Mox. Now you get in.